We came to the last video of this tutorial, and this is the time to sum it. In the first video, we started building our SoC. The Zynq is our main processor, and we added the microblaze to help us run software in simulation. Sometimes after we finish the design and everything is working, we can remove it. We added the APB bridge, and we added an ILA to show us the AXI interface compared to the APB interface. And we will see in this video the difference between them. In the second video, we just generated an SPI master and slave, so we will have some peripherals to our system. In the third video, we generated the register file. We talked about the three kinds of registers: the write-read register, the read-only register, and the trigger register, and connected them to the APB bus. In many places, this is done every time for every design, over and over again. So in many places we write a script to just write an Excel sheet, the register details, and the script generates this file. We also combine the register file with the SPI modules and get full modules for our system. In the fourth video, we combined the logic together. We generated a full system, and we wrote some software that we ran on the microblaze CPU, so we can see every single signal in our design working with the software. In this video, we will add the constraint, especially the pins. We will add a top level ILA so we can see the system is working, and we'll synthesize the design. Then we will adapt the software to the Zynq processor. We'll add printfs, we'll add checkers so software can check our design, and we will run the design on the board. In the last section, I will elaborate on the APB bus and interface, and we will see the APB bus versus the AXI bus at work. We want to synthesize this design. For the synthesize part, I want to add an ILA for the top level. Here is the top level, and I want to add an ILA so I can see the SPI signals going out and coming in. This is the why I needed an internal signal for the SPI, because I cannot use an ILA on an output. So I'll generate an ILA, and I'll use it for... Now what I need in my ILA, I want to have here the 8 signals and the APB bus. So the APB bus has 8 signals, and I have 8 signals, 4 for each SPI. So I need 16 signals altogether. In the APB bus, I'll need to have 32 bits of address, 1 bit of p-enable, 32 as read data, 1 as ready, 1 as p-select, 1 as error, 32 again for the write data, and 1 for the write signal. So this will be 32, this will be 32, and this will be 32. Next, for the SPI signals, all of them are 1 bit, so I leave it at that. and I'll generate my ILA. Once I generated an ILA, part of the generation I will have a VHO file which give me the instantiation for the ILA in my VHDL file. So I copy the component part into my top level design. And I will copy the instantiation part at the end of my file. Now I'll rearrange. And I'll bring all the APB signals. They are all STD logic vectors, and so is my ILA. So the first 8 signals I could just copy and they are ready for my SPI signals. But here we have an STD logic into STD vector. So I have to indicate that this is the first bit. And my design is ready. The last thing we need here is we have 8 external pins for the SPI of the master and the slave. So we need constraint. Now I already took the constraints from the schematics of the ARTY Z720 board. We'll generate an XDC file, we'll call it pins. And I'll copy the pins instantiation which I prepared from the schematic file. And that's it. We can synthesize our design and then we run it with the software on the actual board. We have a bit stream. I just want to watch that I don't have any timing issues, so we can move on to the next stage, and this is generating the real software. First we have to export the XSA. This time we need with the bit stream, because we have a bit stream. We'll go to our software directory and we overwrite it and we finish. And I have an issue here because I changed the XSA file. So I update we're updating the hardware platform. And the platform was updated, but it's out of date because we need to still compile the software with the new XSA file. We still have the software fit to our new design, but we still use it to debug if we need to. Now we'll open a new application project. We cannot use the platform here anymore because this is for the microblades. Now we want to work with Zynq. So we'll go to our XSA file. And we generate a new platform which we'll call Zynq. Now we need a new application. We call it Zynq SPI, and we'll direct it to one of the cores, 0, 1, it doesn't matter. I usually take 0, and it's standalone. And since in the Zynq we do have a UART, we can use printf and use the hello world template. Now we can write the software. We have the hello world file, and this is the template. For some reason they forgot to add this here also, the new line. And we can use the old software. We can take the old software, which is this, put it between those two lines, and we just need to change a few things. We will move the variables up before the init platform, and we need the APB pointer, and since we have printf, we can add a checker to check if our file was working. We'll check that if the master output equals to the slave input, the data from the output to the slave was transferred. If it's equal, we say pass. If it's not, we say error, and the same thing we'll do for the slave. And actually that's it. Now we're ready to run our design, and for this I need my camera to show you. So I'll connect my camera and come back. I have my camera ready, and as you can see, this is my board, and these are the pins for the SPI. The two higher pins, the blue and the purple, are the MISO and the MOSI. The clock and the chip select are below. I connected, so I'll go back to my VTIS. And I'll compile my software. And it's done. And now I press right key, debug mode, debug configuration. I'll open a single application debug. And once I'll start debug, it will reset my system, it will program my FPGA, and it will run the system and let me debug. So start debug. And we're ready to debug. Now, since we have our UART, we want to see our prints. So I'll add a terminal, connect it serial terminal to my COM, and with the right speed. Okay. And since the design was loaded and we can see the light here turn green, we can connect from the Vivado and see our RLAs. I'll open the target. And we have our two ILAs. I'll add all the signals to my ILA and I'll rearrange so it will be comfortable. All the APB I'll put at the top, and the rest is the AXI bus, and I'll trigger on the P enable rising. I'll move it to the start of the window, and we'll do it again and again. And the second ILA, as you remember, we have the SPI signals and the APB. Again, I will trigger on the P enable at the start of the window. I'll give as much window as I can give it, and I'll re-trigger it every time. And we're ready to run our software. The ILA is waiting, and once I run my software, we see that the slave send the number and the master receive it, and we have path, and the master send this number and the slave received, and we passed. Here we see all the signals as well. First, we see the SPI signals. We see that the transaction was completed. All the MOSI sent from the master to the slave and read by the slave, and for the slave said the MISO, and it was read by the master. That if I disconnect my pin, one of them, the MOSI or the MISO, in this case the MISO, and rerun the program, I go to debug configuration and I remove the reset entire system and program the FPGA, apply and debug, and now we only rerun the software, we don't reconfigure the FPGA. And our ILA is ready, and we run. This time, as you can see, the MISO from the slave to the master didn't pass because I disconnect the pin. So the master sent its number and the slave received it. But the slave didn't reply. It replied, but we didn't get it. So it failed. The main issue was here the use of the APB bridge. The AXI bus generated a transaction, read or write. 1 clock later, the APB generated much simpler transaction. We need only one signal to reply for the ready, and of course bring the data if it's read. And 1 cycle later, the AXI gets its data, and we can move on with the program. So this was our APB tutorial. I hope you find it useful. I will have all the files in my GitHub written down below. And thank you and goodbye.